an actual situation of a father who had started a family business in procuring barbecue chickens that he was selling throughout all of Mexico. It became a big business. He was the largest supplier of barbecue chickens by far. And his company had grown for the past 20 years. And he had only one son. And he desperately wanted that son to join the company. So we sent the son to the United States to get a good education as an MBA. And he came back from his MBA degree from Harvard Business School. On arriving, the father said, "You're welcome here, and I really would like you to come and join the company." He says, "Dad, I got a problem. I don't relate to chickens. I don't have a passion for chickens. And I really would like, to do my own thing." Well, he says, "Son, you got to take a look at it. You've got to come and see and explore." And he says, "Dad, if I come and work with you, I know you're going to work on me, you're going to try and convince me, and I'm going to weaken, but that's really not what's in my heart. I'd like to do something else. I'd like to do my own business." He said, "Would you come and work for me for a month? You could look around." I said, "No, Dad, no. I know you. I love you dearly, but if I do that, you're going to convince me, and that's not what's in my heart. What would you come this weekend to come and see me?" And tell me, "The weekend I can't, Dad. I can be there on Monday." He said, "Well, okay, come on Monday." So he arrives at 9 o'clock on Monday morning. He says, "Okay, Dad, what do you want me to do? I told you I'd give you today." Well, he said, "I don't know. Why don't you go around? Just talk to people, talk to my people, and we'll meet tonight. Just go ahead and you're free to go wherever you want. You're welcome." So he spends the bright lights on. Comes 5 o'clock, he says, arrives in the office, he says, "You got a minute, Dad? I'd just like to report that I had a great day." He said, "Well, how did it go? How did it go? Did you, Dad, I'm still not too keen about going into chicken business. Really, my heart's not in that." He said, "What do you want to do, son?" "Dad, I want to start my own company. I want to have the control over my own destiny. I love you very much, and not that I don't respect what you've built. I think it's super, but I'd like to do my own thing." He said, "What does it take?" Well, I said, "I've got to find a bit of funding, and I'd like to do that." He said, "How much do you need?" Well, he said, "I've looked at the startups. How much do you need?" Well, I said, "Dad, I think I'd need about $1 million to start, because I've got to find a locale, and even at that, I'm not too sure if it wouldn't be strapped. But I'd be more comfortable with a couple of $1 million that I can get, because I need to find a locale. I've got to get some people. I've got to get that hired, and I've done a preliminary thing, but I'd need about $2 million. $2 million? What do you want to do?" I said, "I don't know yet, Dad. I'm going to go and do some research. I've got a couple of ideas. Today in passing on, I got one idea, because in visiting, I think you run a pretty good shop, Dad. Every place that I went to, people speak highly of the company. They're happy to work here. I want to do the same thing in my own company. There's only one exception, Dad. I went into the barn you have in back for the chicken feed, where you get the feed to feed the chicken. Dad, that's not running at the same level as your other departments. I mean, that's not, if I were running that, I'd tell you that I'd do it differently." He said, "What would you do differently?" "Well, Dad, don't get me there too much, but he said, "What about if I sold you that entity? That it'd be yours?" "Oh, I certainly would organize it and modernize it and put new technology in there and get it organized." And he said, where would you set that up?" He said, "Dad, if I did that, would you give me your business?" Well, other things being equal, if you could meet the price that it's costing me, I don't want to be going out of pocket on that. If you could supply me with the right kind of thing, I think I might. He said, "Dad, maybe you can start talking there." He said, "Would 2 million do it?" He said, "I think I could, 2 million. Where are you going to go?" Well, I said, maybe the next village. I thought that maybe I saw a place where I could get established and I could start establishing it there. And my father said, "Look, son, why wouldn't you do it here? I mean, I'd let you, I'd sell you that barn if that's what you want to do, and you could do your own thing in there, and you know, you could have access without paying for it to some of my procurement guys, to my human resource people, to my marketing people, to my production people, to my accounting people if you wanted to, and you could ask them advice, and you would have more than the $2 million you're asking me. You would have some support system. That may work. But I want control. You know, I want the 51%. I'm sorry, at least that. You want 51% for $2 million? Then I'd end up with the 49%, and the company, is that okay? Well, I hadn't thought about it, Barb. You're a pretty good partner. I trust you, especially if I'm majority. Yeah, I could live with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, they started. They started what we call intrapreneurship, working inside a company already in existence with the funding and the support system that they could afford, giving the young entrepreneur the chance to control his own business. How did it work out? 7 years later, 7.5 years later, the young boy came back to his dad at Christmas and said, "Dad, you'll be pleased to know that the company that you helped me start, and which the family owns 49%, is now larger than your own company. And I'm very proud of that." Well, you know, son, me too. Because I got you involved, we're working together, we're partners, and I ended up with 49% of a company that I would never have got to. I had nothing to do with the new technology that you brought, and the fact that you brought it international and you're selling more in Japan and China and all those places. I wasn't equipped to do that. So you know what? It was a good deal for both of us. Good deal for you, good deal for me.